Okay, looks like I'm back. I'm gonna give y'all a few seconds to get in, and I have to go over to my I have to give Facebook a chance to catch up. Edit my privacy so the video could be public. All right, let me make sure that we are live on YouTube. Yes, we are. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. Check, check. Yep, y'all can hear me. Okay. Give y'all a few seconds. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Mike, coming back for coming back. Back in full effect. Welcome in, Country Hustler. Welcome back. So I'm gonna give them a few seconds before I start the video, even though y'all can, they can rewind and get caught up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead. They'll come in, have to get in where they can fit in. So we gonna go ahead. We ain't got much left. But where we stopped off was we was talking about the Senator Craig Hickman. Welcome back, Nikki. Welcome back. Welcome. Hello, D Bud Files. Welcome in. Thank you for being here. So we were discussing the food sovereignty bill that was created in Maine by Senator Craig Hickman, and the bill says that uh, you have the right to grow your own food, save and exchange seeds. Hey, Deborah. Hey, Fr. Humphrey. Welcome back. You have the right to grow your own food on your own land. You have the right to live off of your land. This is in place. You guys research that and make sure that you are checking it out in your local government to see who's pushing this in the area and where you live so that it can be done. If you got to reach out to Senator Hickman out there in Maine to see if he can come to your area and get the ball rolling, or find someone in your area to he can connect with to get the ball rolling so that we can do this, because y'all see where the tides are heading. All signs are pointing to where they want to dictate what you can and what you can't eat. So there's a website. I'm gonna put it in the chat, and it's called www.righttofoodus.org, where you can find out more information about that. Let me put it in the chat. Righttofoodus.org. All right. So that link is in the chat. Actually, I just typed it. Let me put the link in there. Let me go to it so that anybody that clicks on it, what? Let me make sure I put it in there right. I'm gonna copy and paste it from their site because it looks like it's blocking it. Okay, I got it. I don't know what's going on with the way I typed it, but I'm gonna share it in the chat. Actually, I'm going to share it on my screen so you guys can see it as well, and I'm going to put it in the chat. So this is the website that you can go to get more information on that. Copy, put it in the link, put it in the chat, paste, bam. That way it should show up as a link. All right, so let's get back to our video. Hey, Miss Sonia, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank all y'all for coming back.
Can we go back to the Great Migration and just what you saw happening in the community and a lot of people leaving from this? Why were they leaving? And what are some of the things that you saw in Chicago? And then because you've seen each generation, each decade in Chicago, so you've seen also an interest, a huge interest, or a loss of culture. I want you to talk about
I
all
can
of that.
talk very good about it. 'Cause my generation, we were going to Chicago up into the 70, mid 70. From 70 up into early 2000, they were going to Atlanta. Now they go to Houston or Dallas or Austin. So everybody now is on the Texas. Two reasons why. Mississippi, the poorest state in the union. We number 50, I don't care what you come up in, we number 50 in it. Childbirth rate, diabetes, heart trouble, whatever it is, we number 50. And that's contributed to race. I've been on 2 race commissions as to why the race can't get together. And we produce this fine document every time. We present it to the governor of Arkansas, the governor of Mississippi, and the governor of Louisiana. I was on 3 states one time. And we had all these governors. I ain't seen that document since. So we only produce so many good jobs. So 9 out of 10 gonna go to white. But you got all these young people got their good education. Then they got a good work ethic. So these other states, one of my nephews, when he graduated, they offered him a job for $50,000 as an electrical engineer with Mississippi Power. He went straight on out there to Texas somewhere, got a job working for a Saudi Arabia company for 85.
Listen, okay, you make sure y'all paying attention to this. This is why he explaining why the people are leaving. Like we got the younger people with the education and the background and the work ethic to keep these things going, but they are moving away. Why are they moving away? He explained to y'all why they moving away because in these poor states they can't pay them what they worth, but in these other states they pay them higher or can or are able to pay them what they're worth. Let me tell you, for example, I am a healthcare professional, right? And I got my license and everything in Louisiana. The pay rate for an LPN in Louisiana is really low compared to other states, compared to the state that I'm in now. Okay, I am. You can leave Louisiana and go to California, New York, Arizona, Washington D.C., Colorado, all states like that, and make 3 times the amount of what you would make in a state down south. Now, the flip side of that is if you live in these states that have the high paying rate, you could come and work in one of these states that are considered low paying rate if you were contracted through a company whose base is located in the high paying rate state. So one of these high paying rate states will offer you a higher paying rate to work for their company, but their company is not from Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. They from they are based in the high paying state, so they can pay you that. But say for instance, if you had a business selling watermelons in Louisiana and you're trying to hire employees and you're based in Louisiana, you don't have the financial resources or the backing to offer people what they are worth in Louisiana because of how the economic system is. But if you was to leave Louisiana, move your base to a different state up north, you will have more financial resources and backing to pay people what they are worth to work where you just moved from. That just don't make no sense to me. But that's what I found in healthcare, and this is what he's saying as far as farmers. And I find that if the if a country, I mean, if a company is based out of the country, they pay even more. He just told you that a Saudi Arabia country has a business in Texas that's able to pay farmers more than what they were worth had this business been based in Texas or in Louisiana or in Mississippi. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to make your mind think and see what he's saying. It just, the scales are not level. The field is not level, is what he's basically what he said. And I hope that y'all understand what I'm saying. And that's just not with farming. That's life. That's it with most professions. It just is what it is. And you gotta know how to work around that and make it work to your favor or work in your benefit.
For real.
And I tried my best to get him to stay here because he good on common sense and
And books.
books. And I'm at there now. He went 2 years at Gulf Coast Junior College, and then he can't make up his mind to finish out. But that kid is a number one.
Hey G Hud,
He
welcome
fix
in.
anything. He was in the Air Force. He
Y'all
still
hit
stayed
that
in the Air
thumbs
Force
up
because he
again.
was
We started
a jet
live,
engine
so it's
technician.
a new thumbs up.
Mm. It says to me, I always think about this a lot when I talk to my own father. We had the ability.
He had that ability,
We
but we
didn't
didn't
have
have
the
the, the opportunity. So they leave, and that's the biggest reason why we number 50. The brain drain but the power to be. Most towns in Mississippi, it run like Belzona, Mississippi. You got 3 or 4 white farmers on the banks. They own the gin. They own the car dealership. They own the catfish processing plant. So now we got 2, 3, 4 families owning everything. They want the status quo to stay. They don't want it. They don't want no place to come in there. And every time they're gonna build a Nissan plant or something, they ain't gonna build it in the Delta. They're gonna put it in Tupelo or somewhere. But they will not go where it's needed. Why they say, well, they don't have the education there. I don't see why not.
They don't want to change those jobs.
They don't want to change no job. They want the same. You get ready to build a new school in those counties. Those counties ain't built a new school since the 60s. Well, them counties is 70 and 80% black. All the government officials, this mayor and everything is black. They ain't controlling nothing because they don't control the land.
And that means they don't control the money either.
They don't control no money. But down here, it's a little bit different.
We keep going back to this whole thing with land, and now you see, like if you try to put another thoroughfare, why a lot of people maybe didn't get the 40 acres in the mule.
Right.
A lot of black people didn't get it because they knew the land was valuable.
Mm-hmm.
The people know how to work it.
And then they do the best to get it out. And some of the people now different from my mom and daddy would say, like you got I know it was 8 acres about a mile, and they just up and left overnight. Because they had borrowed some money to farm, they couldn't pay it back. And the white folk were going to run them off if they didn't leave. So they just walked off and left it.
And when they went to Chicago, what were some of the things that you remember were the first trips that you would go? What would you see as far as how people lived?
I don't see why they went up there. Some of them, they could did better down here than they was up there. But there was a little more opportunity up there because had not my father hadn't got sick, I probably would have been up there myself. But see, my father got sick in '73, and my mother wanted me to just come back and help get that crop out. Say, if you help get this cotton crop out, you can go on where you want to go. But my father paid. I got the crop out. And once I paid production credit back, which is a thing that lend farmers
Laura's Garden and more.
lend money to farmers, but they don't lend even today to select black farmers. You can go out there now to production credit, and I'm going on my name. I can go out and get anything I want.
Yeah, you must have been.
Cause I'm the third being. But they don't do so. After I took that and paid them back, I had enough money to buy me a brand new truck. My first time having 10 $100 bills in my own hand. So I like this farm program. I believe I stay.
How much money would you all make in Chicago when you all would take
Oh
your
yeah,
crop?
yeah. See, we would go up there with a 10-wheel. You put 900 watermelons on the truck, and we were getting $2 and $3 a piece. This is in the '70s. So as the time went on, you go with 18-wheeler load of watermelon now, but you don't make as much clear money as you did when we were going with 900 watermelon. So you don't go with 10-wheeler no more. You go with a whole 18-wheeler load, which is 2,100 watermelon. So if you get $5 watermelon, that's about $11,000. Well, my big head nephew over yonder, he gonna want $4,000 just to go up there.
Well,
And then now they don't want you to. You got to have many bins. That's $14. You got 44 bins on there.
Y'all turn your phones off, please.
You got 44 bins on there. That's $14 a piece. So by the time you the labor to load 18-wheeler now is $900. So by the time you pay everybody, you're making less money now selling more watermelon than you would when you're taking fewer watermelon. So it's
the game changes.
The game done changed. So that's the way it is now.
What do you remember just as far as going up to Chicago during that time period compared to now?
The biggest thing is the cost now, but back then, they would always say if you go up there, you're gonna get robbed by the gang and you're gonna get knocked in the head and all of that. Well, there was a family from Greenville when we first started going. Second generation, he was on the Chicago council, and he gave us a piece of paper. Any vacant lot in Chicago, we could pull our truck up on. So we never had no problem with nobody.
John Stroger, I'm just curious.
Man,
John Stroger, was that his name?
been so long ago I can't remember. Then we got in with the United Methodist Ministers Society, all the United Methodists on the South Side, they sponsors. We got in with like I said, the All Constate Union Alumni Chapter, and then we got that old big mega church, the lady pastor. We can park our truck there There were so many people from Mississippi that had a connection. One, I don't know how they know. They know that we in town. Our truck gonna be parked on Stone Island and 79th. The whole city know we coming.
No Facebook, no Instagram.
No, there wasn't none of that kind of stuff
No
like that. So one time the gang had a truce. All the gang. They ordered 218 wheel low. Now they didn't send us. Most time we go now if we go to Chicago, they gotta send us at least half or we pull out. But we went on Faith up there. So we got up there on Friday. No, this ain't working. We didn't have no customer. I don't know what they did overnight. Them gang must have went back and told them something. The next day we had thousands of customers.
So just like that.
Just like that.
What's
But
the the word pass?
it was a truce. All the gang that they set them on, they had a press conference. There wasn't gonna be no more. So we still in contact with them, but our best customer up there even to the day is the Islam Nation or Farrakhan. They got that Islam University on the south side. If they tell you they're gonna pay you $10,000, you ain't got to worry about it. When you get there, your money waiting on you, and ain't gonna be a lot of them that say, when you get there, I ain't got much money. I had that and this, that, and this, and that, and that, and this. So the load going up there now is going to something like Grodad
Okay.
on the south side. They want 1,200 watermelon middle next month. So it's been a good relationship. When we had did something in Detroit. Now South Carolina, the little bit I worked over there with them, they went to Philadelphia, New York.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect people from South Carolina to be dealing with people in Chicago and Mississippi like that. Most of that stuff went up 95.
And they go to Philadelphia, Boston, and New York.
And so like Mississippi, we're here in Mississippi.
We go to Chicago.
We go to Chicago.
Alabama, Detroit. So we have did all of them over the years. And it's been a good relationship. We lost some money. We lost just about every year until here lately. We would always 18, 19, 20,000 on the books. So we catch the train up there. You can get on the train at 8 o'clock in here and get off 8 o'clock the next day. Go around, collect all you can, get back on the same day. But some of it, we hadn't lost too much. But over the year, we had a few loads that we didn't get paid for.
We didn't really talk much about this earlier, but like HBCUs, there's a couple of things in our community. The roles of HBCUs and the importance of those.
Mm-hmm.
The church.
That's right.
I don't know the juke joints in these areas, but they had a role.
They had a role.
And the reason I want to bring them together because the church and the juke joint all had food being served at some point. And you may have some experiences being in Mississippi with those three institutions.
Absolutely.
And the music. You had the music in the church and you had the music in the juke joints.
Yeah, that Hawkins State University and this cooperative have had a cooperative agreement since 1990. And we renew it every 3 or 4 years. They have sent students here that work on their master's studying thing. And we usually keep some in the summer. They used to send us interns, and we do research with them off and on. But when we built this facility, they wouldn't send the money straight to Indian Spring. We had to find a third party. So we tried to count it. They didn't want to touch it. The little town of Pella wasn't incorporated. So Dr. Jesse Harness and Dr. Tillman were the dean at Alcorn State, and Dr. Harness was the extension director. So we pitched the idea to them being the third party. But them eight, I don't know about private school, but them 18 now, they move slow. Everybody from the president on down to the lowest man got to sign off on it. That must have took another 8 or 9 months. When I seen it, found what they had in there, they had stuck in there. They needed enough money for 2 people to get their masters.
Everybody gotta get something out of this. Everybody gotta get something out of this, man.
I didn't have a problem with it. The big wheel didn't have no problem with it. So we always had that agreement with the university. But here lately it hadn't been much here lately in the last 5 or 6 years. But we always had that type of agreement, and we always had a good relationship with Tuskegee. They always come if we need them for something. They just been there for us, them two. But we've been there for them too, Cole. When they go to the State House area trying for their budget, they want us to come sit there. So we go.
Got to put a dog and pony show up.
We show up for them and stand up and tell them how good they done helped us in there. So it go both ways. Every year when they go to the State House for their budget, we go with Alcorn University. But I still said the 1890 by being state supported, most of them is kind of afraid to do things. You see what I'm saying? They don't want to.
They don't want
to mess up.
The pipeline.
They're right with the white school, Mississippi State, and they don't want to rock the boat too much. They don't want to take like right now I'm pushing them to do something with medical marijuana. They're afraid. The bill been passed. Everything, get out here and do some research on it.
Are you thinking about doing something with?
I'm not planning to do it. At my age, I ain't looking for nothing much to do. But I'm gonna make sure. And these young people want a license, I want to be in it. I just come from California. I spent Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday in California looking at growing, processing, packaging, transporting, all of it. 3 farmers and 3 government officials. We went out there last week. So I'm going to make sure that, and they need to get in from the first go-round.
Mm-hmm. Get in from the ground up.
If I have to, I'll get the license and try, my nephews, some of them, but I'm looking to go into Africa. And get up in the morning. What must have been at?
Yeah.
He in the car.
I know that missed you that time. When you called me, you like, I was like, you supposed to be back in Mississippi.
Yeah, I was in West Africa. You was in West Africa.
I was in West Africa. I ain't pick up the phone because I knew good and well you was in Mississippi.
But and that name. So we have to them 19 land grants. College, we have to keep pushing. Don't be so. If you make it now, we the only one I think now.
I don't think I'm gonna say like that. I'm gonna take up for Alcorn. Not the only one like that. I went to 1890 with A&T, and they don't focus really on the agricultural part.
They sure don't.
They focus on the engineering part, mechanical, but they don't focus on the agricultural part. Mm-hmm. And we're doing a disservice.
So we've 20-25 years. We pushed the state legislature.
Look, let me tell y'all. Hold up, let me pause it right there. He didn't say a whole bunch of good stuff, but I can amen to that about HBCUs don't really push their agricultural engineering part, but I can say back home you don't hear nothing about the extension office or your ag center back home. All we hear is LSU. But there are agriculture centers at Southern University in Baton Rouge, but you don't hear much advertisement about it. But it's always pushed LSU Ag Center. When you hear anybody talk about LSU Gold, LSU Purple Fig, all of that, You don't hear about the hydroponics at Southern University. So it does. I can amen to him on that. We only have about 10 more minutes on his video, but I also wanted to let y'all point out to you guys that how this video is showing how his co-op has worked with different entities. It's all about networking, as Breeze said when he came in. It's all about you networking with all these different people, with the churches in your area, with the local government in your area, with the other businesses in your area, other small farmers in your area. It's all about the networking. It's all about the networking. Devorah said, I heard nothing about agriculture when I attended Grambling. Exactly. They don't push that, but there are good, it's good agricultural centers and they doing good things. You just don't hear about it in those HBCUs. Like, I didn't even know that back at home, the Southern University Baton Rouge campus, they have a farmers market and they offer horticultural, um, like master garden classes and things like that. I just knew the ag center on LSU had that. I didn't know Southern was having that. It's not pushed. It's not pushed for whatever reason they want to say. But it's there. But it's doing a disservice if we learn how to work together. Can you imagine what could be done if those two could work together and the impact it would have? And then I really like what Ben is doing, where he's not only thinking about himself, but he's thinking about what the interests are for the younger people. When he was talking about the medical marijuana, he's not interested in growing it and doing anything on his farm, but he wants to make sure for those who are coming behind him or those who want to do it, that they have the opportunity to do it. So we have to open our minds, even though you might not want to grow citrus trees, you might not want to grow uh, potatoes or sweet potatoes. That doesn't mean that you cannot advocate for those who want to do that, especially if you have the resources to advocate or the resources or the connections to open up doors for other people. Don't just think about yourself, but think about your community. It's all about what's around you, the people around you, and your family that's coming behind you. So we got to think about each other all the time. Jihad says, when you're starting from the bottom, most people looking for a career that's going to make money. Right. And the thing about that is, uh, a lot of farmers nowadays are barely making ends meet. Right. And the thing about that is, like he was saying, if we could just get 10% of people to buy, 10% of the people that go to Walmart or go to these big box stores and support these farmers and go cut out that middleman, which is the big box store, and go straight to these farmers. If we could just get 10% of them to support them, then they could make the money. But we can't even get 10%. We can't even work together to get that. If we can get the financial resources down here in these southern states or Midwest states or whatever, to have the financial resources to offer the pay to these people, it will make it so much better. I mean, there are avenues for it. The knowledge is there. We just gotta piece the pieces together, and then we'll be able to compete with these big wigs. Devorah says you're right. Southern's name is A&M, and the A is for agriculture, right? But you don't hear nothing about it. Nothing about it. And I went to Southern. I didn't know they had an agriculture department. I was on the campus 3 to 4 days a week. I didn't even know that they had they was growing stuff in the back of the campus. Didn't know. G Hud says HBCU grad here, Talladega College. All right, HBCU. I went to Southern, but I didn't graduate. I transferred to Southeastern Louisiana in Hammond, and I graduated from there. But they had an agriculture department there too. So yeah, you just don't hear much about it. So if we like this is basically saying if we could work together, then the impact will be so much different.
Had all this money, so they put $1 million in a revolving loan fund that's managed by Alcorn State Small Farm Development Center. A farmer can borrow up to $50,000 with no interest. To start, they done let that money. My irrigation system sitting out here, I financed it with that money, and then you can borrow for. You can't get it for traditional cotton, corn, soybean, but if you want to do vegetables or mushrooms or. So I'm telling right now, lend some of this money to help these folks start growing medical marijuana. Well, it's illegal on the federal level. That's what the dean telling me now. See, I'm trying to get them ready now because the thing gonna be ready in January.
And by the time it's too late.
Yeah, you need to be
in the ground floor.
but they don't wanna touch it because of the federal. It's not federal. It's still illegal on the federal level.
Right now.
Right now.
It's coming though.
It's coming. So that's our relationship with this. And like I said, through here, I don't know how many people went to Alcorn State University. But that done changed now though. They go to Mississippi State, University of Southern Mississippi. Somehow or another, this generation, like my nephew, they seem to think them schools is not as good as Ole Miss. Jackson State, Alcorn Valley, all of it, traditional, historical black university. I have some knockdown, drag out arguments with my great nephews. But then I said, now, they mom and daddy went to Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
Got them crossed.
They done. So now I recruit for Alcorn and Tougaloo. And I get very few here lately. So the one young lady helped us here last summer. She graduated this year. The co-op gave us some gifts and everything. I tried to get her to go to Tougaloo. She going to University of Mississippi or William Carey or something. So maybe I think that bothers me now, but I can understand my generation why it bothers me.
I think it may turn around. It's turned around a little bit here recently in the past. It may turn around a little bit, but it's still. I can see why you hurt. I mean, being a HBCU grad myself, and think about the people who came before me, they ain't had no other choice but to go to HBCU.
On the right.
And if we send our best and brightest to other schools, then what happened to our schools?
That's my whole point.
I mean, it's no different on the football fields. If we send our best players to an Ole Miss or USM, what happened to our Jackson States or Tougaloo? I mean, so it's those kind of things. So I know the question. We have to kind of support our own in different ways. And we got to also mix with other people because we're not going to make no progress if we just stay all segregated to ourselves.
Yep. Absolutely right. But see, when they signed the AIRS bill here in Mississippi, so they're going to fund the historical black school up to the white school. And a white person in Mississippi could all call Jackson State the Valley free. That's the best we could do. I'm a plaintiff on that lawsuit. If you ever find it, you see why I'm one of the plaintiffs. But when we were going back and forth with the state, they always gonna get the upper hand on you. So now Jackson State probably, I imagine it's 50-50, race-wise. Because all them white people say, well, I'm going way up here on Ole Miss and nothing.
I can get me a free education.
I can go right and get me a free education. And a good school, too. Because Jackson State is, it's claimed to own the urban university in the state of Mississippi.
It might be.
That's what they build themselves as.
Okay.
But I'm saying, I just got to live with it, I
You
guess.
just gotta
But
live with it.
I ain't gonna give up. I'm still recruiting.
Can we make sure we talk about the food in the church?
We got
Yeah,
8 minutes
yeah.
on this camera before we go out.
Yeah,
So
not like I said.
make the last question for 8 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, the food. That's some of our best sponsors in Chicago. This is a big old. I can't think of it. It's a huge Catholic church on the south side. They got we parked our truck there 'cause they got it. You know, can't nobody get to it. And then we over the year we tried our best to work with the National Baptist Association, but they can never get it together. As placing an order. Now we go and meet with the president and all that, trying to get funding to support the federation of the black organization. You do all them meetings, they give you $10,000. You don't spend that much trying to
Trying to get started.
they get started. But see, they wanted to go in with us on delivering the boxes. But we what were they going in on? They didn't have no trucks. They didn't have no produce. So we worked out a deal. They would find churches for us to deliver the produce, but they had to have a non-profit entity within that church. So they worked with them on that. Uh, United Methodist been very supportive. Uh, but most of the white denomination been like the Quakers and the Amish, and there's another one. They've been supported with us over the. But since this,
I'm gonna pause it right there because what I've learned with us um, doing our co-op, I've learned that those organizations is for a long time we would say it's about race, and that's a percentage of it. Why that we can't get nothing together, but majority of that percentage because of lack of knowledge. Organizations like you got the Catholic organizations and you got the Baptist organizations. Well, the money is different because I'm pretty sure those people that are hold office or make the rules and everything for the Baptist organizations don't have the knowledge to know that their business what their business entity has access to. And I'm saying that from my own experiences. Like with these Catholic organizations, when I lived in Louisiana, the Catholic organizations, they're nonprofit organizations owned by, um, say, our one of the major hospitals in Louisiana is owned by a group of nuns. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's 12 of them. You would think that they are like a for-profit corporation, but they are a non-profit corporation, which means that they can get people to invest in them or donate to their cause, and they can use that money to help them build a new hospital or help them build new clinics or help pay the salaries of their employees. They're able to offer all of these things because they know this. I didn't know this when starting a co-op. And I bet you that these organizations that are minorities don't even realize the financial resources that they have. So they offer these lower amounts of money because they don't have it, because they don't know that that money is there that they can apply for to use. And that's all a part about being us working together. If you don't mix with these different people, even though you might be Baptist, even though you might be Catholic and Muslims and Seventh-day Adventists or whatever, if you don't mix with them and share knowledge with them, you how will you find out these things? How will you know? If somebody in their community, all of them are not against seeing other cultures, races, or people succeed. But you won't know if you don't go out there and try. So I would think that the National Baptist Federation is not aware of half of the funding that they could get to offer, money to help the community by supporting the farmers and getting these farmers out, and not just farms but different organizations, and paying for and having the financial resources to bring in those different entities. I'm willing to bet that they don't know that information. They're not aware of it. And if somebody is aware of it, they're not acting on it. So Jihad says, just looking at the past, they are only going to let us succeed so far. They see us accomplishing things, they'll find a way to put a wrench in it. It's sad but true. Yes, sad but true. You are right, Jihad. But just like I was saying earlier, um, you know, it's knowledge. We have this knowledge. We know where it's going. We know where it's headed. We have to plan ahead. You got to have a plan B. You got to be able to, if you see that they are going to throw a wrench in it, then plan for that. Like we see that they're going to try to throw a wrench in having us grow our own food. There's a blueprint to stop that from happening. We just gotta do our part and come together, work together to stop that from happening. But like he was saying, if even if all of us don't come together, if we could just get 10% of the people that's in your area to support, we'll be fine. You don't need everybody to support you to be self-sustainable. You just need a small percentage. And them big box stores can have keep the rest of the people that don't agree with you. Everybody don't agree with prepping. Everybody don't agree with growing your own. Let them keep going to the big box store. Let them keep doing what they're doing. But there's the small percentage of us that know and are willing to do the work and support each other. We have enough that in our community right now that we can be self-sustainable. We have enough people in our community, in this community we have right now in YouTube that are growing different things that we can support each other. 1 second, guys. So, with our community that we have, say we got Nikki over here growing tomatoes and peppers. We got Mike over here growing peppers and cucumbers. We got my Renaissance grandma over there doing seasonings. We got uh Miss Sonia over there doing art and making baskets in these different areas. We can barter with each other to get what we need. We got Tampa over here making furniture and making art and things, and we got Unbiased over here making clothes and sacks, and we got G Quad over here making blankets and quilts and clothing and purses. We got everything we need within this community right here. We got our 10% right here. We just got to connect the dots and learn how to connect with each other. Let me get juicing with Jay to send me some lemons for 6 months. That'll sustain me for 6 months till the season come back up. I won't have to do that. Let me go holler at Broke Farmer and let me get me some figs from him. Let me go holler at the Mango Mangler J3GS Farms. Give me some honey. Let me go holler at David Corey. He out there growing them nice big watermelons. He got the peppers. I seen him drawing up some peppers too. He canning. Let me go over here and holler at Mr. and Mrs. H. She canning. They growing stuff. Let me go holler at Land Farmer. See what he got over on these persimmons. Let me go holler at T Nog, the gardener. She got that sugar cane over there, and she got some cactus prickly pears, and she got the greens. Let me go holler at is here. We just gotta connect the dots. And you know, some things are in season, some things out of season. If I'm growing it down south or up north while the season is in and I can't get it, hey, somebody down south might be able to grow it a little bit longer. Let me get it from them. That's all we got to do. All we got to do. Let's see. Yes, Nikki said be two, 3 steps ahead of them. That's all. And prepare for it. True, nothing beats a failure but a try. I'm interested. Yes, nothing beats a failure but a try. Gotta try. If you don't try, you never know if it could have worked. Gotta also, gotta also should say how to get Congress members voted on. Right, not last till they're almost out of here. Yes, you got to be active with your local government and officials. What's going on? Like I was saying, if you don't go and find out who's trying to put that food sovereignty law in place, you might as well. You got to find out if that's going on in your area, because we all see where this is heading. If you don't have that in place, you're not going to be able to grow nothing. You're going to be at the mercy of somebody else. You're right, because it's someone growing watermelon selling them for $25 with a waiting list. But that after that, but that after pandemic time, yes, it's somebody out here growing it. What's going on, JGD? Welcome in, welcome in. Don't you dare holler at me. I'm gonna close the door. We're gonna holler at you. We're gonna holler at you. Teasy got seeds. Everybody got seeds. We always sharing seeds. It's all we got to do is connect the dots. That's why I'm trying and support as many right as I can in the community out here on YouTube. Most that you mentioned, I patronize. Right. Check out what they got going on, merchandise and everything. Support each other because you're helping them be self-sustainable. I don't care if you're going over there buy a t-shirt, buy a cup, or whatever. Support us. Let's support each other. We learn how to do it right now in the beginning stages. As we continue to grow, it'll be easier. All right, we're almost done, y'all. Let's get through these last few little minutes.
George Floyd deal. You see these boxes here, these other big cooperatives gave us them boxes. And they sent us all these safety uniforms, and I said their heart was soft. But as I tell all these young people, they ain't gonna be like that for long now. A year or two from now, they gonna say, George, who was George Floyd?
They probably say that now.
So they really supported us. They know we had the contract, so they really, I mean, them huge cooperatives. You know, we are part of that U.S. Cooperative Association. So you got Sunkist and Blue Diamond and Land No Lakes and who else? Just about everything you see in the store is a cooperative. That Minute Maid, the ocean, the cranberries, and they just flooded us with support.
So it's good to be involved with some of those groups.
Right.
Otherwise, you don't know what's going on if you're not involved with
You
some.
ain't involved with the Federation. We help our executive director, Mr. Bland, he sits on the board with all these things. But we always had a relationship with the church. Actually, in the spring, started off in the Spring Baptist Church. So when we met, the church allowed us to have office there for the longest. We ain't have to pay anything.
That sounds like this organization in Detroit called Food Lab Detroit. They started out using the commercial kitchens in the churches here recently.
We had an office there. They paired us with a desk, telephone, everything. We for 10 or 12 years, that was the office was, and little package said was somewhere else with the church, and when they had, when these churches put on there, and we mostly give them peas in Oakland. Well, they come in all the time and get eyes.
I want you to ask a question if you have something.
And we can continue over lunch. But what is the legacy for this next generation from slavery, from the Great Migration, from Jim Crow South, from civil rights movement that they need to be thinking about? I mean, I know you talked a little bit about that over the course of your interview, but what is the legacy that needs to be passed down, or what are we missing that we need to think about as far as those institutions that were put up against us?
Well, the thing, it just go around in a circle, Just look at this whole Black Lives Matter, this social justice, racial justice, gender justice. I look at that. See, in the '60s, and said the civil rights movement was fairly well 100% united. The struggle was. But what I just named now, that's 3 or 4 different entities. Now that ain't gonna work. You got some out here, Black Lives Matter protest. You got some out here wanna reform the police department. I don't know what you call it, justice something. I don't know what the word is. And you got this whole gender thing about gay versus straight and all of that, and you got all that. So you got it all this on the table. Now, how do you put that together to one movement? That's the problem I see. Because even I went to that march over there in Selma for the 50th year over that bridge. Now I went there thinking that everybody was there with this marching on civil rights. They had all kind of banners there. Everything from the gay to the Native Americans, you name it, had it. That kind of messed me up. I thought we all would come here to celebrate the 50th year crossing of the Edmund Pettus Bridge. Then it dawned on me, this ain't the 60s no more. And did this thing. See, we in the 60s, we didn't have a one movement. That's all. And then there were so many people there selling and
it's almost like
I hadn't been in a long time. I'm bad no way because we always be last. Us Freemason. It took us 3 hours to get to the bridge. I said this the last time for being. But I was sitting there because we the last one to march. So I just see how they lined it up. And different banners, different that. I don't think, if you wasn't coming there to celebrate the civil rights, I don't think you should have been there. That's me now. But that just show you, now it's all, what is it? Everybody got a movement about something.
I mean, it's almost like divided, we're weak.
Right.
And it's almost like, if you think about, like, even with dividing up land, for example, in a bunch of heirs property, once you start dividing those large tracts up among a lot of siblings, it gets very hard to do anything with because you got a whole bunch of issues on the table that you got personalities. Same thing with all these different social justice issues. You divide it, we're weak. We don't have one common cause to rally behind. So for all the progress we may be made, it's hard to get us all together and move forward. And the overarching thing with white supremacy and stuff like that is continue to be the dominant force. Because they got one dominant thing to go behind.
Like the man from Rouse, he was up there with Trump folk. So he come back. So now when I seen the lady point out to me them bags he got, they shop with him at the farmer market the other Tuesday. We support culture or something or the Rouse's bag. He trying to smooth us over.
Smooth us over.
I wouldn't know his customer nowhere. I ain't even gonna try to sell him nothing now. My whole point is so as black people, let's say we're gonna protest this Rouse, and a black person going in Rouse. You couldn't do that now. I don't know how you could do that now. But we need to do that. We need to make our point sometime.
Yep.
Say for 6 months and a black person going in Walmart.
Mm.
Not to put Walmart out of business, but any business in this country that don't get no black business ain't gonna be in business long. That's the profit. So if we don't go in there, he have to close. That's the profit.
So he brought the main point back up to this video is we too divided. Too divided. Everybody got their own thing going on. And that's why we cannot get nothing done because we too divided. Everybody got their own thing going on. And what I wanted to make sure to say was, even though, say for instance, I'll take the co-op that I have going on, even though it's a basically farm co-op, it doesn't mean that we can't have crafters in the co-op. We can't have lawyers as part of the co-op. We can't have um, accountants a part of the co-op. If you're not a farmer, you shouldn't be a part of the co-op. No, that's not true we because farmers, even though it's a farm co-op, we're looking at trying to get things for farms, but we need an accountant to help us make sure that we're doing everything financial wise. We might not know the accounting side of it. We might need a lawyer because we might need to go to court to fight for something. We might need a crafter because some of us might not even know how to craft to make bags and baskets and things and maybe clothes. It's just not just because it's a farm co-op or a crafting co-op or a uh, apple co-op or a banana co-op or a lemon co-op doesn't mean that you can't mix and mingle and have different people because it takes all of us to make it work. You may be gifted in one area and I may be gifted in another one. Together we come together and make those gifts work and benefit both of us. So that's what the main purpose of me watching this video with y'all is to gather all the bits and pieces that he had and to encourage each and every one of you to use your skills that you have to make an impact on where you are, and that impact that you have where you are will trickle and make a worldwide effect. And I just wanted to open up you guys' mind to make you think, and I hope it was several things that we watched and something that we said that will help you with this video. I mean, help you with this, with your life. Yes, David said no common goals. I might need a pair of boxers. David crazy. So I am done. I thank you guys for being here and being here live and interacting with me and watching the videos with me. And I hope that there was something that we shared with each other that will help you and continue to make you a better person, to make your life better, and help you to make you more self-sustainable. So I think today is Monday. I know Tampa goes live tonight if she is not live right now. And who else? That's it on today. Tomorrow I know Miss Linda goes live on Tuesday. Um, used to be I know Miss Thursday. I mean not Miss Thursday. Miss Shirley goes live on that's Thursdays, right? Miss Shirley goes live. Who goes live on Wednesdays? And then Friday, I know Big Rooster goes live and Tori goes live. Miss T is live every morning. So y'all, let's continue to support each other and patronize each other, um, so that we can all be more self-sustainable. I appreciate you all for your support. I am out of here, and I will see y'all in these YouTube streets. Peace and blessings and love. Good night.